when it comes to the Ramayana, we discuss many things. One the stories, the previous one we discussed that the stories which are not part of the original Ramayana, and also we discussed the woke Ramayana as well. One more thing what I want to talk about is there are so many little micro stories within the bigger Ramayana are the very unpleasant things which people don't want to talk about. For example, where Rama himself is accused of adharma. So one example is the killing of Vali behind from a rock, right?
Hiding behind a tree.
Hiding behind a tree. Sorry. So he kills Vali like that. So people say it like, is that not adharma? That's a question. That is one question. The other question is about Sita's Agnipariksha. I mean, again, I will come to the modern isms that asks why not the wokeism and the feminism. People ask why not Rama go through that test? Why only Sita has to go through that test? Loyalty. I mean, even he was away from Sita. I mean, he also had access to many women. Why not him? Right? So this question also is kind of considered, that why only Sita had to go through that Agnipariksha. So this is one story. The other story is again, after going back to Ayodhya, he listens to one of the washerman.
That's what the popular
narrative says. That washerman says, questions the chastity of Sita, character of Sita, and then he tells Sita to go away to a ashram, and he rules the kingdom after that. So these are the stories which are very sort of unpleasant, and many people who believe in the Ramayana don't want to sort of...
They feel uncomfortable
doing it, and people who want to defame will use this
very good opportunity
to say, see, this is what your culture is, right? So let's bust this kind of myths which are there. Yeah,
certainly. Yeah. Firstly, let me take up the allegation about Rama of being adharmic, because he shot at Vali when he was in a combat with his brother Sugriva. Vali was in a combat with his brother Sugriva, and Rama shot at Vali from behind a tree without even Vali being aware. So he killed Vali that way. So the allegations against Rama are, is this Kshatriya Dharma? Is it right on your part to kill Vali in such a manner? And so on. And these allegations which people today have made, or people in the past have made, those were made by Vali himself on Rama. These were the questions asked by Vali to Rama, in fact. Is it right on your part, being from the Ikshvaku Vamsha, being such a great Kshatriya, is it right on your part to kill me in such a manner? So here we'll have to see the characters of Rama, Vali and Sugriva. We'll have to understand what the Valmiki Ramayana is trying to say. Firstly, Vali was not a person who would trust anybody else. He was always behind power, might, and position. So we get to know that Vali had occupied the throne after his father passed away, and his younger brother Sugriva was serving him very well. Once a Rakshasa called Mayavi comes and attacks the kingdom. And both Vali and Sugriva go to fight Mayavi. Vali chases after Mayavi. Vali was also very physically powerful. See, it's especially when people are physically powerful and they occupy a seat of power, this combination of physical, mind, intellectual capability and a seat of power, and if you're not really dharmic, which can have very bad cascading effects on the world. A meek person coming to power, that can still somehow be tolerated. Okay, anyway, Vali was physically powerful, so he chased after Mayavi, the Rakshasa, and Sugriva also went with his brother to help him kill Mayavi. So Vali asked Sugriva to wait at the mouth of a cavern or a cave, and Mayavi enters the cave, and Vali also enters that. And Sugriva is waiting and waiting and waiting outside the cave. Numerous years pass by. Okay, see, it is a poetic exaggeration again. Let us just assume that it could have been a few days. Yeah. Here, Sugriva waits, and Vali does not come out. And Sugriva starts hearing from within the cave the voices of Rakshasas who are celebrating. And he also sees blood oozing out from the cave. So Sugriva thinks that his brother is dead. and the Rakshasas are celebrating their victory. So that is his immediate conclusion, and he's concerned about the safety of his kingdom. So he closes the mouth of the cave with a huge rock, with a huge boulder, and comes back to his kingdom. And there he does not even occupy the throne. It is his own close people who advise him that a kingdom should not be without a king. This is another bigger principle which comes out in the Ramayana and also in the Mahabharata. When Rama goes away to the forest and Dasharatha is dead, a kingdom should not be kingless. There must be governance in a kingdom. So that, in a smaller sense, comes here also in the story. So people advise Sugriva that, see, Vali's son Angada is still very young, and you are his younger brother, Vali's younger brother, so you better occupy the throne. So although Sugriva did not desire power, for the greater well-being of the Kishkinda kingdom, he occupies the throne. Then it turns out that Vali was not actually dead. It was again an illusion created by the Rakshasas. See, the Rakshasas are very deceptive. Terrorists are usually deceptive. Evil ones are usually deceptive. So their cunning nature is another wicked or that adharmic side of them. Right? So Vali was actually alive and it was Mayavi who was dead. And Vali throws open the door, the boulder which was closing the mouth of the cavern. He comes out, he comes back to the kingdom, and he sees Sugriva on the seat, on the throne. Immediately he comes to the conclusion that Sugriva wanted to kill me and he has occupied the throne. So no trust at all. Vali has no trust in his brother Sugriva. But as a contrast, look at the trust that was there between Rama, Lakshmana, Bharata and Shatrughna, the four of them. Absolute commitment to each other, but here no commitment, or rather no trust. So Vali, without even giving Sugriva a chance to explain himself, banishes him from the kingdom. It is said that Vali chases Sugriva thrice around the world or whatever, and then he banishes him from the kingdom. He occupies the throne. He also takes Sugriva's wife as his own. He starts having an affair. He starts raping Sugriva's wife. So it's raping your own sister-in-law. So that is what Vali did. And see, when Sugriva is banished, the dharmic ones on the Vanara side, Hanuman, Jambavan, Nala, Nila, all of them side with Sugriva. So this itself shows that Sugriva is more dharmic between the two brothers. Vali is more adharmic and Sugriva is more dharmic. And now the question about Rama killing Vali in that particular manner. Before that, let me add another point. Vali had a pact with Ravana. So Ravana had, in his abusive journeys around the world, he had even come to Kishkinda, and Vali had defeated Ravana, but then Ravana had apologized, had requested for apology from Vali, and Vali had befriended Ravana, and he had said that hereafter we'll share our wealth and wives with each other. So this is the promise that Vali had made, and this comes in the Uttarakanda, right? So if a person is making such a promise that he'll share his wife with another king, can you call him a dharmic husband? He is raping his own sister-in-law. He has thrown his own brother out of the kingdom. Absolutely not a dharmic person. He is in power and he thinks that he can do whatever he wants, right? And Ravana had also agreed with the promise. I'll share my wives with you. See how disgusting that can be. No commitment to relationships. Another woke issue, right? Yeah. So Rama comes to Sugriva. He understands Sugriva's pain because it is in similar pain that Rama also is in. His wife has been abducted, and even in this case, Sugriva's wife is taken away by his own brother. And Sugriva has also lost his kingdom. Rama has been banished from the kingdom. See, Rama never complains that he has lost his kingdom, but he really craves for the company of Sita. Missing Sita is something which bothered him, not missing the wealth of the kingdom. But anyway, so Rama understands where Sugriva is coming from. Sugriva also is suspicious about Rama in the beginning. So when you are pushed to certain circumstances, when your own brother has cheated you, you lose trust in the world. See, that is what might happen to several of us. How to trust people? It's very difficult. See, we see this loss of trust even in Sita. Sita, when she sees Hanuman for the first time, She just can't believe that Hanuman could be a messenger from Rama and he might have come on a rescue mission. He thinks that if Ravana came in the disguise of a sannyasi, Ravana can come in the disguise of Hanuman also.
Yeah.
Right? So once you lose trust in the world, it's very difficult to gain that back. Right? See, that is what had happened to Sugriva. So Rama pledges friendship with Sugriva on fire, Agni Sakshi, pledging of the friendship, and he also proves his physical strength by shooting an arrow through seven sal trees, Saptatala Banjana it is called, and he also proves his strength, or firstly by throwing away the dead body of a Rakshasa called Dundubi by just his big toe of his foot. He was that physical strength of Rama, he proves it to Sugriva. He had to prove all this to Sugriva because Rama just wanted to know where Sita is. Once Sita is found, rescuing her is not a great challenge for Rama. Killing any Rakshasa is not a great challenge for Rama. For that matter, at the age of 16, he had killed such Tataka, Maricha, Subahu, etc. He had defeated. And 14,000 Rakshasas single-handedly he had defeated. Kara, Drushana, Trisharas, etc. Only finding out where Sita is, that is what was troubling Rama. And once Sita has been found by Hanuman, he becomes very confident and all that. So just to seek Sugriva's help, he proves his physical strength. Rama does that. And he promises Sugriva that I'll help you gain back your kingdom and your wife. Now, so Rama kills Vali in that particular manner. And when Vali asks Rama, why did you do this to me? Rama says, here, it's the bigger dharma which is in my vision. Right now, it is Bharata who is the king of the Ikshvaku Vamsha. And this entire land is ruled by the Ikshvakus. It is our duty, bounden duty, to ensure that every smaller kingdom in this bigger empire is at peace. And there is no adharmic king ruling the kingdom. So that is the bigger vision that we have got. And as per the rules of our empire, a person who has an affair with his sister-in-law or forces himself upon his sister-in-law. See, a sister-in-law is like your own daughter-in-law or like your own daughter. It's an incest which has been committed by Vali. So for incest, Marana Danda, so killing, capital punishment is what has been followed in our empire.
The law.
It's the law of the land. So you have had an incest for very long years against the wish of that lady. If it is at least by mutual consent, that is one thing. Here you have been abusive about her. You have banished your honest brother from the kingdom. You don't even give him a chance to explain himself. So Marana Danda. So you will have to be killed. And how should I kill you? I need not ask you. Right? Killing is the ultimate punishment. So I just had to bring you out of your kingdom. I couldn't enter the kingdom because I have pledged to my father. I have pledged to Dasharatha that I'll not step on a civilization or in a human territory, in a human kingdom for 14 years. That's the oath or the promise that I have made. I couldn't come in, Rama couldn't come in, and he had to somehow use Sugriva as a decoy to get Vali out, and Vali had to be punished. Right? See, Vali says, then on his deathbed, Vali says that I could have helped you bring back Sita, etc. Do you want to take the help of an adharmic person to establish dharma? Absolutely not. Right? So, whenever you're trying to establish dharma, have as many dharmic people on your side as possible. And Sugriva is as capable as Vali. Right? Almost equally capable. So, he's of course taking the help of Sugriva, Hanuman and all these dharmic people. So if you have to be killed, I'll kill you in whatever way I want. Yeah. So it is for incest that I'm punishing you.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's the Yuddha Niti may be compromised there. But the bigger dharma, the familial dharma, the kingdom's dharma is still being followed there. And once Rama says this, Vali agrees that it was his mistake. And another important thing to note here is that Vali's wife Tara, she comes and cries for her dying husband, but she never finds fault with Rama. Yeah. So Tara also agrees that this guy had this lustful advances, made these lustful advances towards women. And therefore, it is finally right what Rama has done. And even Angada agrees with the action of Rama. Okay. So there it's very clear. It's the Dandaniti which has to be followed, the Dandaniti of the land.
Right. Now let's come to the more tricky question of Sita.
Yeah. See, Rama defeats Ravana with the help of the Vanarasena in Lanka. And then he even asks Lakshmana to coronate Vibhishana as the king of Lanka. Rama could not enter the city of Lanka again because of
same
that
reason.
pledge that he had made to his father. Lakshmana coronates Vibhishana, and Rama asks Hanuman and the other Vanaras to communicate to Sita that she has to come very well decked up before she makes herself visible to all the Vanaras, the Rakshasas. And it is said, the Ramayana also says, that the gods also had gathered, the Devas, all of them had gathered. So when she makes a public appearance, let her come in a nicely decked clothes and in a more radiant manner. See, that's again, it's understandable because especially when you're the king and the queen, you must radiate confidence to the people around you. It's very important that the people have trust in you, or else you can't govern the kingdom. See, just imagine you are suspicious about the character of your prime minister or the president, etc. You won't have any trust in him, and you will constantly keep on questioning every decision that he makes. What is his character? So how can he have any authority to guide us or direct us, etc.? Those problems will occur. So let her be good looking. Let her come in nicely decked up clothes. So she's brought that way. So he even instructs his assistants, the Vanaras, to seek permission from Vibhishana. So now Lanka is under Vibhishana's control, and Sita is in Ashokavana. So before you enter Lanka, you'll have to seek the permission of the current king. So Rama is very dharmic in those moves as well. And Sita is brought there. And Rama does not ask her to go to Agnipariksha. He does not subject her to Agnipariksha. But instead he says, Ravana Anka Paribrashta, I think you have fallen down from the thighs of Ravana. And I killed Ravana for greater good, not to rescue you. If you want, you go to Lakshmana or to Bharata or to Sugriva. You go to whomsoever you want. So that is what he starts telling to Sita as soon as he sees her. As soon as he sees her, for a moment, he's overcome with great sympathy, empathy, love towards her. But the next moment, he starts making these kinds of accusations. Sita is aghast and Lakshmana is aghast. All the Rakshasas, the Vanaras there, all this while Rama was craving for Sita's company. He has been crying and Lakshmana has been consoling him and all that. And when he sees that there is an episode in the Yuddhakanda where Indrajit brings a fake Sita onto the battlefield and chops off her head in the battlefield to again psychologically weaken Rama and Lakshmana as well. There again, Rama was extremely in pain when he sees that Sita has been killed by Indrajit, and later on he gets to know that it is a fake Sita. Okay, anyway. So when Rama was craving so much for Sita, now Sita is right in front of his eyes. All of us would have expected that he would immediately go and hug her, embrace her, and both of them will spend happy moments together, etc. But here Rama is speaking such harsh words about her. You go to whomever you want. So this is what Rama is saying. And Sita is also very distraught. She is in great pain. And she asks Lakshmana to light a fire there because she just wants to enter fire, probably to end her life. She does not say that explicitly, right? So Lakshmana lights up the fire, and Lakshmana is also very shocked about Rama's behavior. So Sita enters fire and Agnideva himself brings her out, and certain versions of the Ramayana say that it is not me testifying the purity of Sita. Because of Sita entering me, I have become purer because of my contact with Sita. So Sita is brought out of the fire by Agnideva himself. And then Rama says that I knew hearts of hearts that Sita is a great chaste lady. She is a pativrata. But then I wanted the world to get that attestation. See, now what would have happened is, suppose Rama had accepted Sita back. Right? It is very natural for a person who is deeply in love to accept the person whom he loves. Right? So Rama telling that Sita is of pure character is not enough testimony. There must be a third neutral party who has been approved by the entire world, who will testify the purity of Sita? Because she is going to be the queen eventually. So you need a third neutral party who will attest that. Even if Vibhishana says that might not be, okay, Vibhishana is already on the side of Rama. So whatever is favorable to Rama, he is definitely going to say that. So in front of the Vanaras and the Rakshasas and all the Devanu Devatas, Agni, again metaphorically, it is accepted as a universal, whatever, tester of the purity of objects and purity of character, etc. So that is again a metaphor. We'll have to remember that. So Agni, a neutral, objective tester. So if Sita undergoes that Agnipariksha or Agni Divya, as it is called in the Dharma Shastras, then the entire world will agree with that. If only Rama says or Lakshmana says, it is his own bias. So that is what the world would think. So Rama does not explicitly ask Sita to go undergo Agnipariksha, but the kind of comments or the statements that he makes that psychologically trigger Sita to undergo Agnipariksha of her own accord. See here, although Valmiki does not say it explicitly, Sita probably understood where Rama is coming from. Sita also knew hearts of hearts that Rama does not desist her, he does not hate her, he's not suspicious about his character. He's putting up this frame temporarily for a bigger purpose. So that Sita knew, because she was also the daughter of this great Rajarshi, Janaka's daughter. And she also knew the responsibilities of a king, the kind of challenges a king will be subject to. She had seen her own father-in-law, right? The kind of challenge that Dasharatha was subject to because of Kaikeyi. So she also probably understood the heart of Rama, and she was confident that through the Agnipariksha, she'll come out pure. So again, here we'll have to remember that it is important for people in power to maintain a clean image and to gain the trust of the people. They will have to subject themselves to great amount of tests and great amount of troubles to establish their character to the people. So that is what Rama and Sita themselves subjected themselves to. Rama was not happy when he asked Sita to do that. It was not that he was getting great amount of joy when he says that you go to Bharata or Lakshmana or Sugriva or Vibhishana, whomsoever you want. Right? So these are the Ravananka Paribrashta. You have slipped down from Ravana's thighs. So just imagine what more might have happened between the two of you. This is what the world is going to question later on. So let us clear that doubt forever. So Agni is that neutral evidence or that neutral testifier. So through that you come out clean. Now, why shouldn't Rama be subject to that? He has always been in the company of Lakshmana, who has constantly been watching. Or the Vanaras have always been around him. Right? So it was there was more evidence on the side of Rama, but on the side of Sita, poor lady, she was alone there in the middle of the Rakshasas. So you wanted a third party to kind of testify her chastity.
Yeah, why I asked that question is because I saw a dance performance wherein the dancer sort of asked this question. She sort of makes that story and says Sita and Rama, and then finally she ends it at Sita asking Rama, will you do it? And then people just clap.
If Sita had asked Rama, Rama would have done that for sure.
No, but then she left it open-ended. But then the audience went in roar, and then they started appreciating that will Rama do that. But then it just ended there. They didn't answer this, that you have more evidence to prove that he didn't go anywhere else. He didn't go to any other women.
Absolutely.
Because there were other people who were there.
Absolutely.
But we don't know the Sita side of the story.
Because she is always surrounded by Rakshasas, right? So we'll have to believe that Agni is somebody who is all prevalent and who is all pervading. Neutral.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like an independent agency.
Absolutely. Yes. Not a biased agency.
Correct.
Yeah. And also this bigger dharma as king and queen, we'll have to keep that in mind.
Yeah, and she also understood, Sita also understood the Raja Dharma, right?
Absolutely.
Because she was also a daughter of a king.
Yeah.
And she knew what Rama could be thinking as a king.
Exactly.
Right.
See, when I speak about this, I remember our Prime Minister at all times. look at the confidence that he carries himself with everywhere. Whenever he makes a public appearance, we never see him dull, disappointed, or angry, or annoyed, or irritated. That balance of mind he has constantly got. It radiates confidence in the people around him. Right? So that should be the character of a king and a queen. They must radiate confidence and they must set an example for the bigger kingdom.
Right.
Right?
And is that the same reason that again the other story is about people of Ayodhya doubting Sita? I mean, even if this pariksha had already happened in the Yuddha Kanda, after they went back to Ayodhya, they started living in a nice way,
Right.
and all that. And when she was pregnant,
Right.
he sort of pushed her away into an ashram. So is that not adharmic?
Right. See, firstly, this story comes in the Uttarakanda, which is the 7th part of the 7th book of the Ramayana. And now the original authorship of the Uttarakanda is highly debated. Me having read the entire Ramayana, I'm quite convinced, looking at the nature of the language, the manner in which the narration takes place, etc., it's definitely not of Valmiki. It's not Valmiki's hand. But then this story of Sita Parityaga has been accepted as long back as Bhasa, who lived at least about 1900 or 2000 years back. And in Kalidasa's Raghuvamsha, which is about 1600 or 1700 years old, we see that story of Sita Parityaga coming in. So from at least about 2000 years, the story of Sita Parityaga, which occurs in the Uttarakanda, that has been accepted as the tradition of the Ramayana. So whoever has added this story to the original Ramayana, it is most likely not Valmiki, is a very intelligent poet. He has tried to kind of show the nature of the common people of Ayodhya, the bigger entity, the bigger world, how it behaves. See, when Rama and Sita went away to the forest, the entire society was rushing behind them and everybody wanted Rama, Sita, Lakshmana to be back in the kingdom. All the people of Ayodhya belonging to all state of the society. In fact, the Ayodhya Kanda, which is definitely by Valmiki, which is the second book of the Ramayana, there they say that when the husbands went running behind the chariot of Rama, Sita and Lakshmana when they were going back, when the husbands returned empty-handed to their houses, the wives scolded the husbands. How could you come empty-handed? You should have come back with Rama. What kind of a husband are you? So the wives scolded, the children scolded, everything. All this is said, and several women also ran behind the chariot, etc. It is said. So that is the kind of love that people of Ayodhya had for Rama, Sita and Lakshmana. Now the Uttarakanda tells us that once they came back, Rama, Sita and Lakshmana came back and they were welcomed with great pomp and all that. And then the rumor started spreading, or rather the news started spreading that Sita had gotten abducted while she was in the forest. Ravana abducted Sita. People of Ayodhya have not seen this abduction. It is not pratyaksha. They are not witnesses to this abduction. It is a reported news to them that Sita got abducted. Right? So this news spread around the city. And in the meantime, Sita was also carrying, Rama was spending very intimate moments with her. He had also touched her womb and he knew that she was carrying. Although the original does not say that, the other versions of the Ramayana also says that Rama had come to know that she is carrying twins in her womb. He was in a very happy moment. So that is when one of the reporters, one of the messengers or one of the spies comes to Rama and Rama asks, is everything well with the kingdom? So the spy says that everything is fine. People are happy and rains and crops and all the resources, everything is fine. But the people of Ayodhya, they are suspicious about Sita's character. So it's not just one dhobi or one washerman. So that is what comes in the later popular narratives. The original does not say that. It's the entire population of Ayodhya who had this suspicion about Sita's character. So what will you do? So that is what, the spy does not ask that, but he just reports this to Rama. So then Rama, I'll just narrate the story in brief. Sita had just fallen asleep. So he asks Lakshmana, he directs Lakshmana to take Sita in a chariot and drop her off beyond the river Tamasa, near the river Ganga, where Valmiki Maharshi's ashrama is. So drop her off there. So that is what Rama instructs Lakshmana. And Lakshmana also, he's very aghast. He's in great pain when Rama is doing this to his own pregnant sister-in-law. Rama is doing that to his own wife, and that is Lakshmana's sister-in-law. So Lakshmana is also in great penury, but he understands that there must be something else in Rama's mind for him to do this. Because Lakshmana has seen how intimate Rama and Sita were for 13 years in the forest, and in the last year how Rama has been craving for Sita, that also Lakshmana has seen. And at this juncture, if Rama is asking Lakshmana to send her away without even informing her, then he knows that there must be a deeper intention here. There is something which is beyond the obvious. So Lakshmana takes her away, and he drops her in the particular place where Rama had asked her to, and he comes back. And when he comes back also, he's in tears and he can't even look back at Sita. Sita collapses there, and eventually Valmiki comes and rescues Sita and takes her to his ashrama. Okay, this is the story. Now, this is truly a Gordian knot of the Ramayana, one must say. See here, firstly, it reflects upon the nature of people at large. See, this is a very great insight given by one of the ancient scholars, and it was passed on to me by Shatavadani Dr. R. Ganesh. It's a very, very interesting insight. So, for the people of Ayodhya, Sita getting abducted is something which they have not witnessed. It is reported speech for them. It is reported news. Sita undergoing Agnipariksha, where she has definitely come out pure, that is also a reported news for them. That also they have not seen with their own eyes. So both these instances they would have heard, but they want to believe only the negative one and not the positive one. See, that is what happens to people. So there is a negative gossip about a person's character. They want to believe that, and they want to interpolate that. Oh, so Sita was away from Rama for 1 year. She was living in another kingdom. Just imagine what kind of affair she might have had and what all mischief she might have done there. So they want to interpolate the negative aspect of it, but they don't want to see that she has actually been testified to be pure by Agni. She has been testified to be chaste by Agni, right? So it's reflecting upon the nature of people at large. So they want to believe the negative news more than the positive
which is happening even today also.
Even today. Absolutely. Right? See, that's one thing. Secondly, there's a very important principle which we come across in the Mahabharata. Tyajet ekam kulasyarte gramasyarte kulam tyajet gramam janapadasyarte atmarte prithvim tyajet. This shloka comes at least twice in the Mahabharata as far as I remember. So it says tyajet ekam kulasyarte. Sometimes you might have to sacrifice one person for the welfare of your family, kulasyarte. And gramasyarte kulam tyajet. For the well-being of an entire grama, a group of houses, a village, you might have to sacrifice one family. A family might have to sacrifice itself. And gramam janapadasyarte. So for an entire kingdom, for an entire country, sometimes certain villages might have to sacrifice themselves. So what is it trying to say? Sacrificing the smaller thing for a greater good. Smaller sacrifices for greater well-being. Right? So here in this case, Rama sacrificed his family for the greater good of the kingdom. Sita also sacrificed her family for the greater welfare of the kingdom. Tyajet ekam kulasyarte. Here, rajyasyarte. So for the sake of the rajya, Rama has sacrificed his own family life. So we'll have to keep that in mind. Rama was not happy banishing Sita. He was very in great pain. Lakshmana also says, upon dropping away Sita there, on his way back to the kingdom, says that I don't think Rama will any longer have emotional comfort at all. That one piece of emotional comfort that Rama had, he has lost that already. And Sita was not happy, Rama was not happy. But in the original Uttarakanda, nowhere does Sita complain about Rama's deed, because Sita understood truly from where Rama is coming from, why Rama has acted in a certain manner. You may interpret it as a shortcoming of Rama, but Sita has accepted that shortcoming of Rama as well. See, when can a good relationship exist? When you accept the shortcoming of the other person as well, be it in friendship or be it the relationship between brothers or between parents and children or between spouses or whatever. It's not only the positives of the other person that you're accepting, but also the shortcomings. With the same balance of mind, you're ready to accept. I'm not saying that it's a shortcoming of Rama here, but he has sacrificed his own family life for the greater good. So that is what Sita knew. So therefore, she does not complain about Rama. Valmiki does not complain about Rama. And Valmiki writes the story of Ramayana and teaches it to Rama's children. So Valmiki has understood the greatness of Rama. Sita has understood the greatness of Rama. They were live witnesses for what Rama was. They were contemporaries of Rama. So when the contemporaries of Rama have not questioned him and they understand the greater sacrifice that Rama has done with great pain, then who are we to question him?
Correct.
Right? So smaller sacrifice for greater good. So that is one thing that we see in Rama, and Rama was not happy having sent away Sita. And also he performs Ashwamedha and Vajpaya and several other Kshatriya yagas. All these yagas are symbolic and they are meant for unification of the bigger kingdom. So that is what these different Kshatriya yagas stand for. They are dharmic yagas. So it is said that when you perform a yaga, you must perform it with your wife. Right? Patyur yajna sanyoge. So the word patni itself comes from that. So patni should always be with the pati when these dharmic activities are carried out. And for kings, multiple Rajano Bahuvallabhaha, so that's a very easy thing. He could have married again. Nashta Jaya, Punarjaya, etc. He could have married once again. But Rama makes a golden image of Sita, not of any other lady, and places it next to himself. Again shows him being that devout husband to that particular lady only. And he performs the yaga. So even for the dharmic deeds, he does it alone with the image of Sita there. Right? So looking at all this, the dharmic nature of Rama, the dharmic nature of Sita, and sacrificing the Vyashtihita for the Samashtihita, that individual, whatever Rama wanted as a family comfort or an emotional comfort, he's ready to sacrifice it for the greater good, the greater welfare of the kingdom.
Yeah.
Now questions may occur such as, these are being devil's advocate. I'm just posing these questions to Rama.
Yeah.
Rama himself could have gone to the forest along with Sita. Why send her alone?
Yeah.
Right, he could have done that. Or he could have told Sita before sending her to the forest. These are the other kind of questions asked. If Rama were to tell Sita that he is going to banish her, another huge emotional trauma, emotional hangama would have happened there. More drama. Right? And if Rama had gone to the forest, we knew what happened 14 years back. Lakshmana would follow, Bharata would follow, Shatrugna would follow, all that. And the city of Ayodhya, the kingdom of Ayodhya, the Ikshvaku Vamsha, that would have gotten destroyed. So it was a very difficult situation for Rama. If Rama had not sent away Sita, then people would have turned in rebellion against him, probably. Although Valmiki or the Uttarakanda does not say it explicitly, this is probably what would have happened. People have lost trust in the king. So it's important for the king to gain back the trust of his people, to give them stable administration. Right? So it was a very, very crucial circumstance. A Gordian, not for Rama himself. How to solve this problem was a very great challenge. So he resolved the challenge in a certain manner. And thereafter, Dashavarsha Sahasrani, Dashavarsha Shatanicha, it is said. So 11,000 years, Rama ruled the kingdom in a very stable and in a prosperous manner. So this decision of Rama was successful for him. And the kingdom, the people remained very stable and the people remained happy. So for the greater good, he has made the smaller sacrifice. We'll have to keep this.
Keep that. And not for, he was not hungry for power.
Absolutely.
Right? It's always for whatever stories that we have gone through, you have explained, the one underlying factor is for the greater good.
Right. And also see, he did not completely ignore the smaller good of Sita. Yeah. He knew that Valmiki, if you drop her near Valmiki's ashrama, a spiritually realized person will think beyond all these, whatever the materialistic accusations that the people of Ayodhya are making. Yeah. So a spiritual person will definitely come to the rescue. So Valmiki did come to Sita's rescue.
Yeah. So I think in our lives, everyday lives, we always go through this, what is called as dharma dvandva, right?
Yes.
We always are in this dilemma of what to do, whether to do this or to do that, to satisfy whom and to satisfy, or can we keep everybody happy? I don't think so. Because in the story of Ramayana itself, we are known that you can't keep everybody happy.
Absolutely.
Right? You have to draw some boundary somewhere.
That happens in families, that happens in kingdoms, in countries, between countries.
Yeah. You can't keep everybody. You can't keep everybody happy.
Very well put.
So Wow, that's so many lessons already learned.
Thank you.
Like a parting shot, do you want to say something?
Yeah. Well, there is this beautiful shloka which comes in the Raghava Pandaviyam by a poet from Banavasi. Kaviraja was his name. He says, निश्रेण्यो ब्रह्मलोकस्य वाग्देव्याः कर्णकुण्डले धर्मद्रुम महामूले Valmiki Vyasayoh Kruti. Very beautifully he has captured. He says these two works of Valmiki and Valmiki Vyasayoh Kruti, the Ramayana and the Mahabharata, Nishrenyo Brahmalokasya. They are staircases which can lead us towards Brahmaloka, that Satchidananda Tattva, that eternal absolute joy. It can lead us towards that. It is a staircase there. So it can, going through these epics again and again, can help us gain chitta shuddhi, purification of our own mind, purification of our own character, and it can take us towards ultimate bliss, ultimate ananda. Nishrenyo brahmalokasya vagdevyah karna kundale. This is again another very interesting thing. Who is Vagdevi? Devi Saraswati. So in the Indian tradition, Vagdevi or Devi Saraswati is the one who gives speech. And look at Valmiki and Vyasa, they have used speech in such beautiful manner to write this beautiful epics, the Ramayana and the Mahabharata. And the Ramayana and the Mahabharata are like the beautiful earrings worn by the Devi Saraswati. So whatever Devi has given you, that Vak Shakti, you have used it in the best possible manner, and it itself becomes an embellishment for Devi.
Wow.
Right? And in fact, Valmiki Ramayana is the first ever poem on earth. Right? See, until then, a language was used for utilitarian purposes, for communication between people. It was it also captured the spiritual utterances of the sages in the Vedas, right? But the poetic utility of a language, the aesthetic utility of a language, was for the first time realized by Valmiki. That entire new domain was opened up by Valmiki. So he created that beautiful jeweled earring to Devi Saraswati. Vagdevyah Karnakundale, Dharma Druma Mahamule. They are the great roots of the Dharmic tree, the Sanatana Dharma tree, the true strongest roots, Ramayana and the Mahabharata. Valmiki Vyasayoh Kruti. That is what the poet says. So I would think that going through the Ramayana and the Mahabharata, both are called the Panchama Vedas. So if you want to make the Vedic knowledge, the Vedic wisdom accessible, these two are the best doorways. They entertain you. Through entertainment, they educate you. They capture your heart, and through your heart, they educate your brain, right? So I think with that, we can part. Yeah. In fact, any epic tradition of the world, that is what it is meant to do.
Yeah.
The works of Homer or of Virgil, all these epics written by civilizations which were Sanatanic. The ancient Greco-Roman civilization was also Sanatanic. And the original aim would have been to entertain, and through entertainment, you educate.
Yeah.
So it's important to win the heart of the person before you educate his mind, or to help values blossom upon his mind.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much. You have thrown so much light on so many things, and it's been a long conversation that we have been having. So thank you so much, and I hope you come back again. And
absolutely. Conversations on the epics have been going on for millennia now. So we'll have to continue these conversations, I would say. And I would like to thank you and the entire Prana Stories team for engaging such very good scholars, such very good realized people, and bringing out their wisdom. A fantastic channel.
It's nothing without experts like you.
Oh my God.
It stands on experts like you.
On a concluding note, I would like to acknowledge the entire parampara which has given me the little understanding that I've got. My interactions with Shatavadani Dr. R. Ganesh. His writings and any kind of interaction with him, an everyday conversation with him, is very revealing. It gives a lot of insight. And I have been benefited, of course, from the original Valmiki Ramayana, as well as the works of many great scholars like D.V. Gundappa in Kannada, and Ranganatha Sharma in Kannada, Dr. V. Raghavan in the English language, and V.S. Suktankar again in English, and Professor M. Hiriyanna. Many different scholars have aided my understanding. So therefore, it is in this perspective that Abhinava Gupta, who has written a fantastic commentary on the Natya Shastra called Abhinava Bharati, he says, Urdvordva maruhya yadhartha tattvam deef pashyati shrantim avedayanti palam tadadyaiv parikalpitanam viveka sopana paramparanam. All these stalwarts have already built the ladder of knowledge, and we are standing on the last rung of the ladder. We are standing at a very great height. It is not a height which we have achieved on our own. It is because of the ladder which has been built by them.
Yeah.
So we must be grateful to every rung of the ladder, this entire Guru Parampara, this entire knowledge tradition. We'll have to be grateful to them.
Yes.
So my humble pranams to all the great gurus who have been there from times immemorial.
Right. These are some of the books that Arjun sir has written. This is the Essential Mahabharata, which I have read. It's like a fascinating read, and obviously the original Mahabharata is so vast that you need at least, I don't know how many years to actually read it. But this Essential Mahabharata is something which you can quickly read and get an understanding of the entire Mahabharata itself. And this Essential Ramayana, which is currently I am reading, although I know the Ramayana story quite a bit because I've heard it from my grandmom, and I've watched the serial, and I've read other stories as well. But this again, I'm reading it again, and like Arjun says it, like if you read it again and again, you will find more things.
You can resonate
you can discover more and more things.
Absolutely.
Right. So this is another book. This is his latest, right?
Yes.
Latest book. This is something which this is Homer's Epics, which is pending. I have still not read it, but it's the showcase of the perspective of truth and beauty in Homer's Epics.
A cousin culture, a sister civilization.
And the similarity between Sanatana culture and the Greek. I mean, you already said it that Greek culture is also Sanatana.
Yes.
So the similarity between these cultures.
Absolutely.
So I will definitely give the links of these books in the description. So audience, I highly recommend that you start developing the habit of reading. That will give a complete sense of the roots that we are in, right? So that will also ground you a lot and give you the extents of I always keep saying that you can't match the breadth and depth of the Vedas, from our culture. There is nothing in the world that can match that. And these stories, the Mahabharata and the epic, are all based on. It came after the Vedas.
Right.
To convey the Vedas, to convey the Dharma, is what people, these epics were actually there, right? So I'm sure these reads will definitely help audiences out there, apart from listening to the podcast.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So thank you so much for writing this, and somebody young like you, and more younger generations have to sort of continue the lineage that you spoke about, right? Like Ganesh sir is a living legend already.
Absolutely.
Like a scholar, right? I mean, when I think of who will carry forward that lantern, is somebody like you is an example, right?
That's too much.
So let's say from 50 years from now, if I say I can proudly say that yes, I have spoken to Arjun sir.
Oh my God.
Right? He will be at that stage, I'm sure. And I'm wanting that there should be more and more younger people, reading a lot of our own scriptures and coming up to your level. I'm sure I can't reach that, but there should be so many youngsters who can get inspired and get there.
Certainly.
Right?
Yes. So all these works can be an opening window.
Yeah.
One should not stop here, but go a little further, go through the originals and all that.
Right.
That's the intention with which all these have been written.
So you are an inspiration.
Oh my! Thank you.
And I'm sure the audience should take that inspiration and take things forward.
Thank you.
Thank
a
you so
lot.
much.
Thanks a lot to all the viewers as well.